Hi, I'm Tristan.
And I'm Jess.
And this is Faith Untamed.
Hello!
Hello.
I hope everyone in our pod world is doing good because it feels like it has been ages since we've talked to you guys.
I think it has.
It has.
Because we had some things come up for the last one. And then I feel like it's been forever.
It has. Life has been lifing hard.
Life is lifing.
Very hard. And then I lost my voice.
Yeah, that was one of the things.
For like ever. I was concerned I was never going to get it back. And it's still not 100%.
That's a very extreme concern.
It was. So normally around this time of the year, I'll like get a cold or, whatever the seasonal mess is. And usually I mean, well, because you've been with me for years, I usually lose my voice. That's not like totally out of the ordinary. But normally it's back by like day 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Maybe not at 100%, but you can actually like hear me. This go round, I am not joking. It took like 5 or 6 days before I could even really speak without not being able to hear me. Like it was awful.
Awful for you.
For me,
yeah,
because I'm a talker.
Yeah, it's probably great for everyone else.
Yeah.
When I lose my voice, it's great for everyone.
But I feel lost because
I know.
I can't
We are talkers.
say.
We are extroverts.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. And when you have a dog that's not listening and you raise your voice to the dog and then here I am and I'm like and the worst part, I think I told you this, the worst part, I was visiting my grandma and I told Alexa, I said, Alexa, turn on the living room lights. And Alexa says, I understood that you want me to turn on the living room lights. It sounds like you were whispering. Do you want me to enter whisper mode? And I was like, rude, okay? Like, don't come at me like that, girl.
How creepy would that be?
Oh my God, to like have Alexa whisper at you?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Okay, to our listeners, do you have your Alexa on whisper mode? And how creepy is that in the dark?
Yeah. Oh, in the dark?
So let me tell you a little side quest. I pull up to this house a second ago, Jessica's house, and I open my door and I hear this voice talking to me in the middle of the yard. And I thought, oh my God, we're haunted. Little Victorian children, Victorian ghosts.
Yep.
And it's a bird feeder that she can see through. And someone was talking to me through and it was the creepiest thing.
Welcome to the House of Horrors. No.
Yeah. So can you imagine Alexa whispering to you?
No.
No, that's too creepy for me.
No. Especially like if you did need something in the middle of the night and you're like, hey, Alexa, turn on the lights. And she's like, I'm turning on the lights. Like, oh my gosh.
Please don't. Yeah.
Not a fan.
In that vein
Yeah.
of conversation, we have a very different episode today.
A very different episode today. Like, we are making a hard left.
Hard left.
Yeah. I don't think you guys are ready.
No, but we're super excited.
We are very excited. It's going to be off-brand a little for Faith Untamed, to be fair. It is. But if you know us, it is very on-brand. So this is just a taste of Jessica and Tristan in our everyday lives.
Yes.
And this kind of all started, I'm going to give a little bit of background to where this vein of conversation is coming from. So we used to go on annual beach trips. And it never failed that Tristan and I were in a car together. And Tristan is of the mindset of, you just listen to whatever you want to listen to. And Jessica listens to true crime podcasts.
Yeah.
And so here we are driving to the beach, beautiful sunny day. And we have the story of Ed Gein in the background.
The worst.
It is, but this is what I love so much about it, because I love true crime. I don't love murder. I do not support.
I mean, that's good to say, right? We don't support
one
murder.
One of the 10 Commandments, do not murder.
Oh, look, it's biblical.
It is biblical.
Okay.
Do not murder. I do not support it. However, the psychology behind it, it fascinates me. And so that's my mindset. So I listen to true crime stuff all the time. And so really there's not a lot that surprises me anymore. You, on the other hand.
Yeah, fun fact, I don't.
You do not.
I don't listen to it. So the first time I got in a car with Jessica and we had this experience, she was halfway or 3/4 of the way through a story. And so as soon as we turned the radio on, it was grotesque.
Very grotesque.
Yes. And she was like, is this bothering you? And I was like, no, it's fine. Because I try to be a good passenger. And it was, it was a lot.
Yeah, but the best part about it, like my favorite part, is your reactions to the things that are said. Because she's like, oh my. Or like, she's like, it's just the best thing ever.
Yeah, so we're going to get some of that today.
Yeah, so we're going to go a little true crimey today. I didn't want to go too like dark and gory and like so this is a lighter, if you will, kind of true crime story, but it's still true crime. And if you guys love it, like if you want us to every once in a while sprinkle in a true crime episode, let us know how you feel about this. If you hate it, also let us know, because we don't want to keep throwing true crime at you if you hate it.
Yeah.
We do not want that.
Also, I have not heard this story.
Oh yeah, Tristan has no idea what we're about to talk about.
You're going to get real Tristan reactions to things. So.
Yes. And so you guys are going to get a taste of what our car rides to the beach are like.
Yes. Yes.
So
I'm ready.
We're ready.
I'm ready.
All right,
let's go.
Here we go. A lot of this information came from a book that I found. It's Dark Tide, and it's written by the author Stephen Puleo. And so a lot, actually like 95% of the information that I'm going to give to you is from this book. We will link it in the episode notes on like a Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to us. In the notes for this episode, there will be a link to the book in case you guys are more interested, because I was telling Tristan, there is a lot of details and information in this story, and there's no way that I could give all of that to you in one episode. So I will link the book in the notes. So if you guys are interested, you can go and find it and read it yourself. I will say that he does a phenomenal job at recognizing the victims and calling the mess for what it is. But he also gives the unbiased side of things as well. So he does a really, really great job at telling the story and doing it justice. But that's my little bit of business in the beginning.
Okay. I'm ready.
So I am not going to cite or reference this the whole time, because like I said, a lot of the quotes and stuff in here, they did come from this book. So I'm like, side note, that's where it's all from.
I'm ready.
All right, we're ready. So
I'm ready.
I need you to put on your Wayback Machine hat. We're putting on our Wayback Machine hat.
Okay.
All the way back to Wednesday, January 15th, 1919.
Oh, way back.
Way back.
Okay, not like I thought you were going to say like the 80s.
Over 100 years ago.
Oh, okay.
The 80s?
Yeah.
The way back is the 80s?
I mean, sometimes.
That feels like it was yesterday.
I know.
It does.
Okay, 1919 on a Wednesday.
1919 on a Wednesday.
Okay.
In Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay.
We're in Boston.
All right.
All right.
All right.
At approximately 12:40 p.m.
Is that noon?
P.m.
That is noonish. Noon. Okay. Because side story, when I did our flights back from Florida, we went to the marriage retreat, I thought noon was midnight and midnight was noon. And so we didn't get home till 1:30 in the morning. Greg was not happy.
Yeah.
So I just need to know what time of day it
Yeah,
was.
this is the middle of the sunshine hours.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So
I do have other strengths, just so everyone knows.
She does. She does. I promise. So it was like any other January day in Boston. It was cold. The wind was blowing. The sun was shining though, so that was nice. And Boston Police Patrolman Officer Frank McManus was on his waterfront beat. He's doing his patrol. He's walking through things, make sure everything's kosher. He's noticing there's horses and drivers delivering goods. There's the city workers. It's lunchtime, so they're hanging out, eating lunch, chatting. Just going about their business. And then he was very thankful that there was a heat wave that day. It was 40 degrees outside. 40-degree heat wave. Spring is coming. He's excited. And he said it just added a little bit of pep to everybody's step. So it was just a very pleasant day.
Okay.
So part of his patrol is every once in a while he has to call into headquarters, just give him an update, let him know what all's going on. So he picked up the call box to give his report. And suddenly, like out of nowhere, he hears a machine gun like rat-tat-tat sound and an unearthly ringing and scraping. Also, a bleating that sounded like the wail of a wounded beast.
Oh.
That was his direct quote from what Officer McManus said it sounded like.
Okay.
I would pee my pants.
I'm envisioning. Okay.
I would not do well if I heard this sound.
No.
What is this? What is the sound? What? It's not a machine gun. Fun fact.
Okay.
And it's not a wailing beast. Fun fact.
Okay.
To tell you what it is, though, we have to rewind a little bit further back.
To the 1800s?
Not quite to the 1800s.
Okay.
Just to 1914.
Okay.
So 5 years earlier. It's August of 1914. The war in Europe has broke out against Germany, so we're facing World War I. The president of the United States at this time is Woodrow Wilson. And he was very adamant. He did not want the United States to be involved at all in the war. He wanted the people to take care of their own stuff, did not want us to be involved. However, he did support, quote, increased munitions production for the purpose of shipping arms to the friendly nations overseas. So he was like, hey, we make munitions over here. They're our allies. We can help them out by doing that. We don't want to involve ourselves directly, but we'll send munitions. Also, that meant it was good for U.S. economy because now we've got more revenue that's coming in. So after President Wilson said, yeah, he loves this idea of supporting the munitions, the United States Industrial Alcohol Company jumped on the opportunity. They're like, hey.
One does.
Yeah, as one does. Opportunity for more money. Let's do it. So the USIA, the United States Industrial Alcohol Company, and its subsidiaries could sell their alcohol to major weapons manufacturers to produce munitions for the war. Notice I said alcohol for munitions. I myself was like, what does alcohol have to do with munitions?
That's what I was thinking.
My daughter, when I was telling her about this case, she said, so we're going to send alcohol overseas to get our allies drunk? And I was like, no, it's for munitions, not for consumption.
Yeah.
But it got me very tickled. Of course, Jessica, I had to nerd out a little bit. How do we use alcohol for munitions?
Nerd time.
Like it doesn't, nerd. I actually have in my notes here in all caps, nerd time.
That's what we're going to call it.
That's what we're going to call it. So, nerd time. We're going to use molasses.
Molasses?
You know, like
Grandma's biscuits.
When you'd have Grandma's biscuits and molasses at supper. Or first thing in the morning. Or afternoon snack. Or, whatever. We're having molasses.
We're having molasses.
Molasses are a byproduct of refining sugar. Okay. So they are also very rich in fermentable sugars. And of course, fermentation creates alcohol, right? So when mixed with water and yeast, the sugars from the molasses ferment to produce carbon dioxide and ethyl alcohol.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. The fermented liquid is then distilled to separate and concentrate the pure ethanol.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So this results in what they call industrial industrial ethanol, also known as industrial alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
It's used as an important chemical solvent and precursor for the production of smokeless powder and dynamite.
Oh.
So that's how we get from molasses to alcohol to munitions.
To dynamite.
Mm-hmm. To
okay.
dynamite.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Fun fact. You know Everclear?
The singers?
The alcohol? The singers? No,
the alcohol. Oh God, yeah,
yeah,
it makes my stomach hurt.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
Ooh,
very familiar with Everclear, right?
Don't drink Everclear, guys.
The highest proof of Everclear that can be commercially sold for consumption is 190 proof.
Ooh, gracious.
Which is 95% ethanol by volume. 95% ethanol by volume. Industrial ethanol that is used to make explosive munitions is 200 proof at 100% pure ethanol.
Ooh.
So Everclear for consumption is only 5% shy.
Yeah, I believe that. of dynamite.
Foolproof alcohol.
I believe that.
Yeah. Alcohol's bad, okay? Don't drink it.
Don't do drugs, guys.
Don't do drugs. Oh, no, for real, don't do drugs. But, you know. Back to the USIA.
Okay.
Nerd time's over.
Okay.
Back to the USIA. They had manufacturing plants that would distill this alcohol, and they would produce about 20% alcohol to grain alcohol, which was used for rum. And then the other, they would further distill it to get the 80% of their productions was the industrial alcohol. So a lot of their income and product was this industrial alcohol. So with the war going on overseas and the higher demand for munitions, the USIA needed to provide more alcohol to be able to keep up with the demand that was needed, which meant they needed more space to hold higher volumes of these molasses so that they had it on hand and could just continually make it, right?
Yeah.
So in response to this necessity, USIA tasked their subsidiary, Purity Distilling Company, so just a little baby of USIA, and its treasurer, Arthur P. Gell.
That's his real name?
That's his real name.
Arthur P. Gell.
Gell is Jell. Oh. Arthur P. Gell.
Okay.
So they
Sounds
tasked him with building a giant tank in Boston to store huge quantities of molasses. Okay?
Okay.
By doing this, by putting this tank in Boston, that meant that they would no longer need to purchase smaller amounts of molasses from third parties, essentially aiding in efficiency because they already had their molasses there. But most importantly, it saves money because now we're not having to pay a third party to bring us our molasses. Speaking of our friend Arthur here, he was born Arthur Percy Gell.
Okay.
December 16th, 1878 in Canada, eh? His parents were, and my daughter thought this name was hilarious. I'm not name shaming here. Horace Horatio Gell.
Okay.
Was his dad.
Okay.
And then you had Emily Caroline Jafaris.
Okay.
These names
Lots
don't
of big
sound
names.
like they would fit, you know, but it is what it is. In 1910, Arthur did get married to Miss Mary Mason, and they did have one daughter together. By 1913, they had moved to the United States, just for the sole purpose of Arthur working for the USIA. And then by late 1914, he had been made the treasurer for the subsidiary Purity Distilling Company. So that's how he got to the point that he was in, right? So USIA, when they tasked Gell with building this tank, They told him in no uncertain terms that this project needed to be his highest priority.
Sure.
And they gave him until the date of December 31st, 1915, to bring it to completion. If he didn't finish it on time, his job is at risk. So he's got a lot of pressure to get this done. Now, remember, if we rewind a little bit, I told you this all started in August of 1914. So he's got a little over a year to get this project to completion, right? So obviously, he immediately jumps in to try to figure out what he needed to do to get this tank built. So he started trying to negotiate with the Boston Elevated Railway Company, because they owned a piece of land right on the waterfront and right by the railway tracks, right near the Boston Harbor. So just to give you an idea, I have pictures.
Okay.
Just because I'm a visual person, and I think that you should be too today.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. So, and we can take pictures of these and post them on our Facebook page to go along with this episode so that you guys can see them. But as you'll see, you see the tank itself is right smack dab in the middle of the train tracks, Boston Harbor, that general area. So it's really the perfect location for this tank.
Yeah.
So he began these negotiations in January of 1915, but the railway company drug their feet, like real bad, and it was very delayed. They did not agree to everything and agree to lease this land to USIA until August of 1915.
And he had been done by December 31st.
He had to have it done by December 31st.
Wow.
And of course, he can't start any aspect of the project until the negotiations are complete and everything's been signed. So they began to build the foundation, just the foundation for the tank, in the end of September 1915. He's like biting his nails. He's like getting real worried about things. He was very, very worried about his job. Not only was he worried about his job, he was worried about his reputation. And he knew that he only had 3 months essentially to finish this project. So the project itself, I mean, it sounds easy, build a tank. Well, there was a lot more involved to this project than just building a tank. So first of all, you have a small auxiliary tank that was a little bit closer to the train tracks to help offload the molasses from the small auxiliary tank onto the train cars. Then you had to build tracks to the tank so that the tracks could actually get to the molasses.
Yeah, makes sense.
They had to bury and build 220 feet of underground pipe from the Boston Harbor to the tank itself. And then when we get to the tank, the foundation was 3 feet thick concrete.
Oh, wow.
So very, very thick concrete. And then the actual metal of the tank, the sides and everything of the tank, was to be 50 feet tall and 90 feet in diameter. And at its completion, it would hold more than 2 million gallons of molasses. So this
That's a
tank,
lot of molasses.
yeah, that's a lot of molasses. I don't like molasses.
I only like it on a biscuit.
Yeah, I'm not a fan on anything actually, but
Well, good, because it's full of ethanol.
yeah, it's it's something. So, so yeah, this is a giant tank.
Yeah,
I mean, it's massive.
Yeah.
But of course, things don't always go to plan, and delays kept happening. So they did not actually receive the metal to build the sides and top of the tank until the beginning of December.
What? And now we have 31 days.
We have 31 days.
Oh my God, I have so much anxiety for this man.
I know. Isn't it like...
This man, I made fun of his name. I have so much anxiety for him.
It makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beginning of December, the metal is finally delivered to be able to work on the tank itself.
Side note, can you imagine being married? Can you Mary Mason or whatever her name was? Can you imagine being married to this man and all of this happening, and like the angst
Oh, yeah.
that he is living in, and like having to make him dinner every night and be like, here, honey, here's your meatloaf.
And he's probably, well, we tend to take out our frustrations on the ones closest to us.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, yeah, he was probably
Yeah, probably not great to live with.
not pleasant.
Yeah, and you can't blame him.
No. I mean, no. I mean, if I was worried about,
Yeah.
it's a huge project. And
Yeah.
it's not just huge in size, it's huge in importance as well, because we're trying to make more money here, right? We're a business. We got to run. And if we don't get in and start doing it, we're going to lose opportunity.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I don't want to be Mary Mason.
No.
Do
me
not
either.
want to be Mary Mason at all.
No.
They get the medal.
Okay.
They begin to erect the tank. Unfortunately, though, there is a first death that occurs. Thankfully, it is the only death that goes with the construction of the tank itself. But it was on December 8th. A gentleman by the name of Thomas DeFreitas. He was a 35-year-old laborer. He fell from a staging plank into the tank.
Oh my gosh. Ew. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, there's not molasses in it yet.
Oh, that's true.
But
a hard fall.
it's a hard, yeah, there ain't nothing
Obviously.
to catch his fall. I mean, he
Yeah.
straight
down.
down. It was estimated that it was between 30 and 40 feet that he fell. So,
And then how do you get him out? Like, you got to
Yeah.
rope down there.
well, I'm glad that you said that. You
Okay.
just segued into my next thing. So, much to Gel's chagrin, this caused a 3-day slowdown.
Oh my gosh.
Because he fell into the tank, and it took the rest of the day for the other laborers to get into the tank and get him out. So that was over half a day gone.
Yeah.
And then for the next couple days, they were working very slowly because they were afraid they were going to fall in themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, serious fear. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. But Gel did not like this because
Sure.
it's slowing things down.
Yeah. We're already on the what? The 11th?
We're on the 8th at this day. And then,
Okay.
like you said, the 2 or 3 day delay. So,
Yeah.
the 11th. So
Yeah.
then on December 13th, there's another 2-day delay because what they called a superstorm fell and dumped 20 inches of snow,
Oh my gosh.
followed by torrential rain and sleet, all on the Boston Harbor. Like, horrible. And of course, they're working with metal.
Yeah.
They can't work in ice and sleet and rain and snow
Yeah.
working with metal. I
Right.
mean, that's dangerous just because it gets cold itself, but also if it gets slick,
Yeah.
then you run the risk of more injuries. But that caused a 2-day delay. And then the day that they got back to actually like be able to work, they spent the whole day, their first day back, cleaning up debris
Oh my
from the storm so that they could just get to what they needed to get to work on the tank. So, I mean, it was just
Yeah.
a lot.
A lot going on.
We're not done.
Okay.
There was another delay.
Oh my God.
Another delay. December 26th, there was a sleet storm.
Oh my gosh.
Thankfully, though, this just was for 1 day,
Okay.
and they were able to jump right back in
Oh my
and work on things.
The anxiety.
I know. I can't imagine. So you said you can't imagine being his wife. I can't imagine being those workers.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like, yeah.
Like having your boss
Talk about
probably,
work
yelling
anxiety.
at them, like,
Yeah.
hurry up, work faster, get things done. I mean,
Yeah.
it's probably a very stressful work environment.
Oh my goodness.
Also, it's freezing cold outside.
Yeah, it's December in Boston.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
oh, no.
Okay. Okay.
Nope. So we get to where we're 3 days away from the deadline.
Okay. But we have to have Christmas in the middle of that
We
too.
have to have Christmas in the middle of that.
Yeah.
3 days away from the deadline. Not only is the deadline 3 days away, but there's a ship from Cuba on its way with 700,000 gallons of molasses to put in this tank.
Oh my gosh.
So it's scheduled to be there in 3 days.
Okay.
If we don't have this tank done to be able to receive all these molasses, that's going to cost more time and it's going to cost more money because now we're going to have to turn that ship around and send them to somewhere else that can take the molasses, which is going to cost more time and more money. Mr. Gel's our treasurer here. He does not like to spend more money.
Yeah.
So that's a big problem, right? For many different reasons. And all he is thinking about this whole time is he going to have a job
Yeah.
going into the beginning of the next year? And what's his reputation going to look like if he loses his job? Is he going to be able to find another one? Because I mean, he wasn't able to get this
Right.
project
He looks
completed.
unreliable. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
he was really struggling with things. So when we're looking at the original contract to build this tank, okay, it stated that the 50-foot high tank needed to be tested for leaks prior to any molasses being put in it.
Sure.
And the way that they said that they should do this is to fill the tank with water. So obviously, if you fill it with water, you're going to be able to tell if it's leaking or not, right?
Yeah. Think about that process.
Mm-hmm.
There's no I mean, how are you filling that with water?
How are you filling it with water? How long is it going to take to fill it with water?
Yeah.
Because it holds 2 million gallons.
Yeah.
So
are you hand bucketing it in? Is there a garden hose? I mean, is a fire truck able to? I mean, what? Because we're in horse time.
well, there were cars.
Okay.
It's just there were also horses that also did deliveries and stuff. So there were cars, and they did have the pipe itself that they could send the molasses from the ships on the harbor to the tank. So I do think that there was some developments that they could have pumped water. But again, where are we pumping this water and how are we pumping this water?
Yeah.
Yeah. So treasurer here,
Gel. Mr. Gel.
he made an executive decision.
Oh, okay.
Because we are 3 days out.
Are you going to tell me he decided not to do it?
We have not tested this tank yet.
Oh my gosh. I'm so riddled with anxiety.
Due to not wanting to spend the money to fill the tank to the top. And knowing it would take longer than 3 days to fill it.
And then get it out.
Yeah. Which was past his deadline.
Yeah.
He opted to test it by filling it with 6 inches of water.
The bottom 6 inches.
The bottom 6 inches. Said that it was enough to raise the water level above the first angle joint. So they got it above one joint, okay? When no leaks occurred at the first joint, Gel pronounced it, quote, sturdy, sound, and ready to use.
Don't be a miser, guys. Don't be a miser. Don't be a Scrooge McDuck.
I mean,
oh my God, I cannot right now.
Was literally, when I read that, I was appalled.
Because I'm going to share a picture of this where the tank is and where everything is here. And you'll be amazed at everything that's surrounding it. What a terrible decision.
Yeah. So also, I got another picture while you're talking about that. Now that we've got through the tank being, no, you can't see that yet.
Okay.
Now that we've got through the tank being completed, this is a picture of the tank itself in comparison to the buildings around it.
Yeah.
I believe here to the left, I believe that's the overhead railway. So if you look at the other picture, you can kind of get an idea.
I mean, you
where...
can see it's right on top of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's huge.
Okay, so he made a terrible decision.
Yeah, made a terrible decision. Said it's ready to go, and the ship from Cuba emptied 700,000 gallons of molasses into this tank.
Which is heavy.
That's heavy. That's a lot.
It's heavier than water. Like
it would have to be. The viscosity of it alone would be...
Viscosity. Good word.
It would be a lot. I mean, for it to handle. So you would want to make sure that this thing was structurally
He did
sound.
not. He said no.
He was too worried about the money and his reputation and his job.
There's a lesson in there.
No good thing is going to come of this.
No.
Not at all. So February 1916.
2 months later.
2 months later.
Okay.
My man, Isaac Gonzalez, comes on the scene.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay.
I call him my man because if there is ever a hero in all of this, it is 100% him. He comes on the scene.
Okay.
And he is ready to go. He starts his job. He gets a tour of the facility with his new supervisor. His name is William White.
Okay.
And he's getting a tour and being shown the ropes and all of the things. And William White takes him to the tank and starts showing him how to hook up the hoses and stuff to the tank itself to be able to move the molasses wherever they need to go. And as he was working on his first day at the job, 2 months after the tank was completed,
Right.
Isaac noticed thick molasses, quote, seeping from between many seams,
Oh my gosh.
congealing around the rivet lines, and spreading slowly downward and outward.
Oh.
So 2 months after this thing was completed, it is already
Imagine the
leaking.
ants
Yeah.
and the rats.
I mean, would there be ants in the wintertime?
If there was that much molasses.
Maybe, but there was 100% rats.
Yeah, there's a lot of
It
rats.
had to have been rats. So this day that he went, of course, it's February, so it's very cold.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a warm day at all. I mean, of course, molasses, when they get cold, they move slower. They're not, it's
Slow
not
as
fluid.
molasses.
Yeah, slow as molasses.
Yeah.
Fun fact about molasses, they never really freeze.
Mm-hmm.
They get very thick and almost pudding-like with the texture, but they don't actually freeze hard like ice. So he noticed that in the frigid temperatures, he noticed that it was still running. And he stated that he was more concerned about the sounds that he heard from inside of the tank
What?
that sounded like low rumbles of thunder.
Oh my gosh.
Your face. I wish you guys could see your face. You look disgusted.
I am disgusted by these horrible decisions. Because Gel's over here living his life.
He's living his life. He's making the money.
He's 2 months out. He's like, this is great.
He's doing what he needs to do. I mean, his office isn't there. His office is in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Oh my gosh.
So he's not there every day to see what's happening. Like it's out of sight, out of mind for him. He doesn't care. So I'm going to nerd out for just one more second, if I may.
Okay.
So we're probably wondering what this rumbling is from inside of the tank. Is it the metal? Is it the molasses? Is it like what is this? So it's the molasses.
Okay.
It is the molasses. They're passing gases.
Passing gas is molasses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's exactly what is happening. We need to put that on a t-shirt. Oh, I'm dying over here.
Shape up, Jessica. Let's go. Tell me how this ends so I can be thoroughly disgusted.
Oh my goodness, I'm crying. Whew, okay. All right. So we have molasses, and when they are different temperatures and they come together, so when you have warm molasses that meets with cold molasses, i.e. you have the cold molasses that are in the tank, and then you have the molasses that are coming off of the ship. They keep it warm on the ship so that when they send it to the tank, it flows more freely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so you have warm molasses from the ship, cold molasses in the tank. It actually causes the molasses to ferment, which, as we talked about earlier, creates carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
Carbon dioxide is a gas that it's going to create bubbles in there, and essentially, it's almost like it boils inside of the tank. It's not a heat like induced boiling, it's a gas induced boiling, but it is bubbling inside of the tank. So that is what
Interesting.
our friend Mr. Gonzalez was hearing. So occasionally, part of Gonzalez's job was actually to go relieve the pressure from the tank. Another better example of this is like if you have a gas canister and it sits closed and the canister itself starts to expand because it's sat there, and you release the cap on it and it immediately releases those gases and goes back down. It's the same concept. So that is the sound of the rumbles that Gonzalez heard on his first day.
Okay.
So over the years that Gonzalez worked there, the molasses, they just continued to leak. I mean, it seemed like there was no end in sight for it. It was leaking so much. And this is horrifying, but also I love it at the same time. There were little kids that lived in the neighborhood that would take pails to the bottom of the molasses tank to collect molasses. And they would take sticks and like wrap the molasses around the stick, and it would be like a lollipop for them. And so the kids loved this.
Yeah.
But that's also horrifying that it is leaking so much that these kids are gathering pails of molasses from what's leaking.
Yeah.
I mean, that's terrifying.
It's a real problem.
That's a real problem.
Yeah.
I mean, someone should probably fix it.
Someone
right?
should have. Yeah.
So also what was happening was where the molasses was running down the side of the tank, it was rusting where the molasses were at. So it was leaving tracks where these molasses were running. Gonzalez would report time and time and time again to his supervisor White his concerns about the leaking from the tank itself. And he like White would like brush it off. No big deal. You just do your job. Don't worry about anything else, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then eventually, White finally decided to take the problem of Gonzalez, right? Like, because we don't want him talking. He would eventually take it to jail and say, hey, look, this guy he won't shut up about this leaking. And it's becoming a problem because he's telling me all the time, and it's annoying, right? Again, jail just brushed it off. Like, just have him do his job. Don't worry about him. Occasionally, they would bring in a team to caulk around the leaks to help fill in those gaps. But it was just like slapping a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not actually going to fix the problem itself. So during all of this, there's political unrest because the war is going on. President Wilson says he doesn't want us involved, but he supports U.S. companies helping. And there's anarchists who are against the war who don't want any part of the United States assisting in any capacity.
Right.
So there's lots of threats going on of bombings and things like that towards these companies that are supplying things to the war overseas. So Mr. Gonzalez here actually took a phone call one time from someone threatening to come and bomb the tank. And he took it and reported it to jail. Like, went all the way to Cambridge, Massachusetts, walked in jail's office this time instead of going to his supervisor, White. And he said, this is a problem.
Sure.
They're threatening to bomb this place. Like, we're leaking all over the place. Like, something needs to be done here. Like, this isn't good. And so Jill was not a fan.
Imagine that.
Yeah. He did have officers start guarding the tank a little bit better. It got to the point, and this breaks my heart, because I can't imagine being so dedicated to my job and being brushed off like this. It got to the point where Gonzalez was having nightmares about the tank failing. And he would get up in the middle of the night and run to the tank and just sit at the tank.
That's terrible.
For hours a night. Yeah. Just in case something happened, hoping he could alert someone or you know, whatever. Yeah. I mean, that's how bad it had gotten. Well, when it came out that Gonzalez was doing this, Jill and White didn't like it. Yeah. They weren't fans. They were afraid that it was reaching the point that Gonzalez was going to start running his mouth to bigger other parties, get the word out about it, and cause a problem. So they were not thrilled at all. But they didn't want to fire him because they're like, I mean, deep in the munitions productions, right? Like, they're busy. They don't have time to hire someone else and train them to do what Gonzalez does. Right. So they're basically like, well, we'll just try to keep him quiet and just make him do his job, right? The way that Jill decided to keep Gonzalez quiet this time was to paint the tank the color of the molasses.
So we didn't notice it as much.
So that it camouflaged the molasses that were leaking from the side of the tank. Isn't that awful?
It is awful.
That's
the effort that went into that.
It's disgusting.
Yes.
I mean, the soul of the person that would choose to do something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's nasty.
Nasty
It's a
behavior.
nasty person.
Yes.
So after all of these complaints, all of the years of him essentially dedicating his life to this job. I mean, his mental health had suffered. His physical health had suffered. Like this, I mean, he was dedicated to this job. Gonzalez finally said enough was enough. And he could not any longer feel like he was bearing the responsibility of what could happen with this tank.
The only person that cares about it.
Yeah, the only person, literally the only person who cares about it. So he quit his job and he left September 1st of 1918. Okay. So he had been there almost 3 years, about 2.5 years, I guess it would be. But yeah, I think it was for the best, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you reach a point at your job that you're losing sleep and going into work in the middle of the night because you're worried about what's left there, I can't imagine.
Absolutely.
So we are going to fast forward to January 10th of 1919. Back to the very beginning. It is 12:45 p.m. now.
Noonish.
And we have made it back to our officer, Frank McManus.
Okay.
Remember, he just heard the machine gun sound.
Right.
And the wailing beast sound.
Yeah.
As he is on the call making his report, he hears this noise and he turns to see what it was from. He watched as the giant molasses tank seemed to disintegrate before his eyes.
What?
He yelled into the phone, quote, "Send all available rescue vehicles and personnel immediately. There's a wave of molasses coming down Commercial Street."
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like Ghostbusters. Like all the slime. Who knows?
Oh,
anyway,
gosh.
It was a weird reference.
that was a wave.
Yeah, no, I cannot imagine a wave of, you got the Boston Harbor over here. It's going to had some tea in it.
Oh, yeah.
So they got a
some
lot.
molasses to go with our tea.
They got a lot going on.
They got a lot going on. I did think about the Tea Party at one point researching.
Yeah,
this.
because the molasses ship is sitting in the Boston Harbor.
It's literally sitting in the Boston Harbor, yeah.
Yeah.
So 2.3 million gallons of molasses engulfed the Boston Harbor waterfront with an estimated peak wave height. Are you ready for this?
No.
Of 25 to 40 feet.
Wow.
And moving at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour, which is fast for molasses.
If we're thinking about molasses, that's pretty quick.
35 miles an hour. Yeah, I mean, but also, can you imagine, like, if you imagine 25 to 40 feet, right?
Yeah.
That's anywhere from 2 to 4 stories high. I mean, that's a massive... I get nervous when I'm at the beach and a wave comes in that's like 3 feet high.
Yeah, me too. So like a tsunami of molasses.
Literally.
And you got to think those storefront, or if there were storefront, whatever there's not much there, but whatever. The first, second stories of whatever is here is just getting demolished.
Yeah.
Because it's also heavy.
Yeah. So you're taking words right out of my mouth.
I am.
I love it. So we have the initial surge of the molasses.
Mm-hmm.
After everything is settled, we have several city blocks left with up to 3 feet of molasses just settled in places.
Yeah.
You did have, so that picture, it's hard to tell. There's other maps though that you could go and find. There's people's houses are here.
Sure.
The fire station is here. Mm-hmm. There's business. Like bars and taverns and like this is a very heavily populated neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, you had all the little bucket children.
You had all the little bucket children.
Mm-hmm.
And everything got pancaked.
Yeah.
with molasses.
Yeah.
So as the tank collapsed, remember we heard Officer McManus say he heard something that sounded like a machine gun?
Yeah.
What he heard, this is terrifying to me. I don't know why. This got me.
Oh, God.
What he heard was thousands of rivets being torn away from the metal and being deadly projectiles
Yeah.
bouncing off of the brick and stone. And they ended up finding some embedded in the wood to these houses and buildings. Like,
imagine that's how you die. Like, one minute you're just hanging out in the street, and then you're standing in front of God, and you're like, how did I get here? And he's like, a rivet from a
shot
molasses tank
you.
was thrown across the street and embedded itself in your forehead.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a story to tell. I mean, it's funny, but it's not. Like, that's terrifying.
yeah, you got to think it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
A 1-ton sheet of metal from the side of the tank sliced through a column of the elevated railway.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, collapsing the overhead tracks to the ground. There was a train on its way.
Oh my God. I was going to say, was there a train on the way?
There was a train on the way. And by the grace of God, he was able to get it stopped before he hit the part where the tracks had collapsed.
Amen to that, or you have a whole train coming down.
I mean, yeah. I could you imagine being that conductor, driver, whoever it is that drives the train? Like, all of a sudden you see these train tracks are gone in front of you and you've got to stop in time? Like,
can you imagine if
terrifying.
it had gone down and then you have to get all that out of the molasses?
Oh my gosh. No.
No.
Absolutely not. Like I said, the sheer force of the molasses demolished houses, demolished buildings. And in short order, officers, firefighters, doctors, nurses, and even over 100 sailors that were on ships in the harbor arrived to render aid and do what they could do.
Yeah.
So I've got some more pictures for you.
Okay.
So we have firefighters that would actually, like, the way that they would get to people in the molasses was they would lay their ladders out and crawl on the top of their ladder to basically suspend themselves above the molasses to be able to reach down and get people out.
That is crazy.
While trying not to fall in themselves, because they said that the molasses were like quicksand. Like, you just couldn't, they were so sticky that you just couldn't get them. I mean, and remember, it's January.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Oh, yeah.
These molasses are not, I mean, they're stickier than they would be if they were warm. I mean, it's not a fun time at all. So rescuers were trying to, this is where it's going to get, okay, I'm going to give like a content warning. This is where it gets a little gnarly for just a second.
Okay.
You can skip past maybe like 10 seconds if you want to.
I don't get that luxury.
No, she doesn't get this luxury.
No.
She has to hear it in real time.
I'm ready.
So rescuers were trying to clear molasses from the breathing passages of those that they were finding. Like, we're not just drowning in water here. We're drowning in molasses. And they're trying to get it out of them so that they can breathe. Some of the deceased were found because all the rescuers could see was their hair floating at the top of the molasses.
Ew. That's terrible. That's gross.
Isn't that awful?
That is awful.
Like,
and hair floats in molasses.
That's all they could, because I guess it's lighter than the body itself, so it stayed at the surface. So the deceased, they were sent to the mortuary for identification, of course. And some survived the initial wave of the molasses. But there was a story of a firefighter who got trapped in the fire station with 2 other firefighters when the wave hit, and the building actually was collapsed. Matter of fact, that picture I showed you was the fire station.
Oh, wow.
This is also another image of the fire station.
Oh my goodness.
They said that they were able to get to 2 of the firefighters and save them before they passed away.
Sure.
The third one, though, his body gave out from exhaustion and he ended up drowning.
Oh,
so they knew he was alive. They were trying to get to him and he died while they were trying to get to him.
That is wild.
Isn't that sad?
It is sad.
Awful. And of course, these rescuers are having to be extra careful getting people from these buildings because they run the risk of the building collapsing on them. I mean, these structures have been severely damaged at this point. They are not structurally sound.
No.
That is the awful wave of molasses.
Yeah.
I will show you just a couple more pictures. That's in reference to how large the tank was to the area around it after the collapse itself. And these two are just a couple more pictures. One of them, you will see that the men are standing literally to their knees in molasses.
Oh my God.
The one I showed you of the firefighters, if you look at the ladder itself, there is molasses just dripping off of the ladder itself. I mean, well, like we said, we're gonna post these pictures on our Facebook page so you guys can see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It sounds funny, this molasses flood, but it's total and utter devastation.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Who knew?
Yeah, who knew molasses could be so dangerous? Our treasurer, Gel.
Oh, yeah. This guy.
Yeah. He arrived shortly before 2 p.m.
Okay.
So 12:45 is when the tank collapsed.
Okay.
Shortly before 2 p.m., Gel finally shows his face. His bosses had ordered him to remain silent
sure.
and let the attorneys talk, which from a legal standpoint makes sense.
Yeah.
This is the part that got me. They told Gel that the most important thing for him to do when he got there was to make sure that he did not allow city inspectors or law enforcement to confiscate any of the USIA property, specifically pieces of the tank.
Sure.
Because they didn't want to be held liable. And so if nobody gets the evidence to be able to test it and see what's going on, nobody knows what actually happened, right?
Yep.
When all was said and done, now for months, they were finding bodies for months.
Yeah.
So it was not like a quick recovery process. There were 21 deaths,
That's
150
crazy.
people injured. But aside from that, it was just massive community trauma. I mean, because even if they weren't a part of the flood, people lived there. They did business there. I mean, they knew people that lived there. I mean, it was a huge deal.
Yeah.
I have a list of the people who were lost. I'm not going to go through all of them just for the sake of time, but I will say 2 of the children who would go and collect molasses, they were 10 years old.
I was wondering.
They both passed away.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, and the oldest one who passed away was 78.
Wow.
So just a sad time. Just a sad time.
That's crazy. What a crazy story.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. So the cleanup, what do we do with all these molasses?
Yeah.
So at first, the workers tried to like remove them with like shovels and chisels and anything they could find. Saws, I mean, parts that had started to harden, saws. But eventually, they ended up having to use millions of gallons of the seawater because it was salty. It helped broke through it. And then sand to soak up any of the extra. So
What about the effort of all of that?
it took an estimated 87,000 man hours
Wow.
to clean it up.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, that's a lot of man hours. It caused approximately $1 million in damages to structures and those sort of things. Today, that equates to roughly $100 million in damages.
Wow.
The USIA, with being the great company that they are, initially did not send anyone to help with recovery efforts or cleanup.
Boy, that sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Until a heated argument with the USIA president and the commissioner of the Public Works for Boston. And only then did they send 150 men to help. So they weren't going to send anybody. Like, they wanted to wipe their hands clean of this and just be done.
That's crazy.
It was said that for years after the flood, especially on hot days, you could still smell molasses.
Sure.
I mean, it's getting in cracks and crevices that
yeah,
you're not going to get to again.
Think about the rats after that.
Oh my gosh. No thanks.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so when it comes to the cause of the collapse of the tank, there were debates. I mean, we know structurally it didn't sound like it was good. But, of course, there has to be other reasons, right? So we have the state chemist and U.S. Inspector of Explosives. They kind of did their research, and they strongly believed in what was called the collapse theory, which is, like we said, the tank disintegrated because a combination of structural weakness and fermentation inside of the tank creating extra pressure.
Yeah.
Of course, USIA disagreed wholeheartedly. Their attorney argued that, quote, beyond question, outside influences, quote, evilly disposed persons were responsible for destroying the tank, and that the receptacle was structurally sound.
Oh.
So they're thinking it was the anarchist who had threatened bombing, which arguably could have, I mean, it could have been a valid argument had they not had security there at all hours, making sure no one was doing anything nefarious, right? So February of 1919, Judge Bolster declared that the only party that could be held criminally responsible for the tank disaster was USIA. The only assignable crime, though, so the only crime that he could find would be manslaughter.
Yeah.
He said, my conclusion from all this evidence is that the tank was wholly insufficient in point of structural strength to handle its load. Insufficient to meet either legal or engineering requirements. But the case had to go before a grand jury. The judge didn't get to decide if they were going to be guilty of manslaughter or not. So after 5 days, the jury came back with their report. They agreed that the structure did not comply with the law.
Sure.
However, on the larger issue of criminal negligence, the jury ruled that there was insufficient evidence to justify or return an indictment of manslaughter. So they get to walk away.
Murder.
They murdered.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, maybe not intentionally, right? Like, it wasn't like first degree by any means.
Right.
But they were negligent.
The continued brush offs of the issues. Yeah.
Knowing that things were going on. After the jury came back with this, an MIT professor who had been hired to inspect and test the pieces of the tank, 2 days after the jury says this, he came back with his report that the steel plates were insufficient thickness to withstand the pressure of the molasses, and that there were not enough rivets to fasten the tank sufficiently. USIA, of course, dismissed these findings since the jury had already found them.
Yeah, double jeopardy.
Yeah, they can't, they failed to have an indictment issued against them. So they stood it. They stood firm on the fact that the tank had been blown up. Like, they were 10 toes down on that.
Yeah.
That's what it was. So hold on with me a little longer.
Okay.
We're almost to the end.
Okay.
We're going to move forward to August of 1920. A civil trial is about to begin because even though they couldn't find them criminally negligent, there wasn't enough evidence for that. There were still a ton of people who had been affected or lost loved ones from this disaster.
Yeah.
So they decided to file civil suits. In total, there had been 119 separate legal claims brought against USIA. So the judge decided, instead of having 119 different things, we're going to combine them all into one trial.
Yeah.
A very long trial took place where my guy Gonzalez did come and get on the witness stand and
Good.
attest to all of the things that he had reported.
Yeah.
March 25th of 1921. Now, civil trial began in 1920. Keep that in mind. 1921, Arthur P. Gell comes to the stand.
Oh, my gosh.
The prosecuting attorney wasted no time at all establishing that 42-year-old Gell had spent his entire professional career as a financial administrator. He had no technical or engineering training, and he couldn't even read building plans or specifications. Yet he was given the task of building this tank.
Yeah.
Gell was questioned. Okay. I have transcripts from his questioning.
Okay.
So, prosecuting attorney Hall, he's Hall, that's his name. Upon the delivery of the metal for this tank in Boston, did you have any engineer or builder examine the material itself to ensure it conformed to specifications? Gell said no.
We figured.
Did you seek the advice or consult with any person outside of the employees of Hammond Iron Works, they're the ones who provided the metal, as to the quality and fitness of the steel which was delivered or the method of construction? Again, no. Did you at any time have or ask for any test to be made of the steel being fabricated on your behalf? No. So
Surprise.
he's like admitting that
No thought went into it.
no thought went into this whatsoever. He was asked, did you at any time after the tank was erected and before the steamer arrived with the molasses, have any investigation made of the tank by any architect, engineer, or man who was familiar with steel construction as to the sufficiency of the tank as erected? No. Referring to the contract for the erection of the tank, do you recall that it provided for a water test after the tank was created? That the tank be filled with water to test for leaks? Gell answered, yes. Was any water test made of the tank, except by putting in the 6 inches of water, as you have already testified, before it was put into service? Gell answered, no. Well, the attorney wanted to know why not. This is Gell's response. It made me sick to my stomach. Well, for one reason, there was not time. It would have been impossible to empty the water again before the arrival of the steamer. It would have been impossible to fill the tank. There was not a supply of water at that point sufficient to fill the tank within a reasonable time. We had only a very small water connection, and it would have taken many days, possibly have run into weeks, to have filled the tank with water. Hall then asks, do you mean by that, or do you not, that if you had made that water test, it would have delayed the unloading of the steamer? Gell said, yes. Hall said, that is what you mean? And Gell said, yes. Hall said, did you investigate to see whether there were water mains on Commercial Street which would have afforded ample quantities of water to fill it in much less than a week? I did not. So he's saying there's no way to get enough water here, but he didn't even
try.
He didn't even try.
Yeah.
He just said he's just not.
Yeah.
He's just there's not enough water.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy. So then, if I'm skipping down a little bit here, he was then questioned about the report that Gonzalez had made about the reports of bombings. And he acknowledged that Gonzalez made the report, but he felt that Gonzalez was not a responsible person.
Oh.
And that's why he didn't take it super seriously.
It's unfortunate for him.
Exactly. So he then goes on to be questioned further about the strength of the tank and the pressure that it could withstand. And the defense attorney at this point knew that Jell's testimony was damning and was not good for their case at all. I mean, they're asking him questions. At one point, he asked them a question, did you have anyone on this earth inspected that knew what they were doing? And he said no.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he just didn't care.
Yeah.
He just was too worried about getting it up. So that was 1921. April 18th, 1925.
Jeez.
Very long trial.
Yeah.
The verdict was in. The judge himself entered in a 51-page special report on the findings and his verdict. So I'm going to just read, this is a short thing here, of what the judge said, because he gets it. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
All right. So the judge himself, in his 51 pages, he states that, I mean, very, very, very strongly, he states, there was sufficient evidence of trouble available to a reasonably competent management to cause it to investigate and see whether something ought to be done in the interest of common safety.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the repetition of these, quote, weepings suggested nothing to the USIA administration in Boston, and accordingly, nothing was done by the administration in New York.
Yeah.
I cannot help feeling that a proper regard for the appalling possibility of damage to persons and property contained in the tank in case of accident demanded a higher standard of care in inspection from those in authority.
Agreed. Appalling is a good word.
It's a very good word.
Yeah.
I mean, these people totally disregarded.
Yeah.
Totally they just threw everything out the window. He also said, quote, the general impression of the erection and maintenance of the tank is that of an urgent job, the product of the world conditions in force at the time.
Yeah.
And he also said, quote, I believe and find that the high primary stresses, the low factor of safety, and the secondary stresses, all in combination, were responsible for the failure of this tank.
Yeah.
In the end, USIA was found to have been held liable for these civil suits. And they had to pay out $628,000 in damages to the victims.
Yeah.
Which today is roughly $11.7 to $15 million to these victims.
Yeah.
Which, that's a lot. But like of the $628,000 of that day's money, that averaged only $7,000 per victim.
Wow.
I'm like, that feels like,
yeah.
And I know money was a lot different then. $7,000 today is not. I mean, that's nothing.
But still.
So back then, $7,000 would have felt, especially because a lot of these people were working class people. A lot of them were immigrants, so they didn't have a lot. And so I understand $7,000 to them then was huge.
Yeah.
But like, it also doesn't feel like it's enough.
Yeah.
I
For
mean,
sure. Yeah.
It'd been one thing if the tank failed, but it had been properly built.
Yeah.
That'd be one thing. But the fact that they just didn't care.
Yeah, they just didn't care the whole time. They just
time.
didn't care. Yeah.
So today, the site of the former molasses tank is a city-owned recreational complex known as Langon Park, and they have baseball fields. They have, I think it's at a bocce court. Like it's just a recreational place for people to go and hang out on the Boston Harbor.
Interesting.
Which is crazy to think that 100 years ago it was the place of mass devastation.
Yeah. So Greg and I are going to Boston at the end of August to see. We're going to Fenway Park to see a baseball game.
I love that.
Yeah. So if it's close, I'm gonna go stand on it.
You need to go stand on it.
And I'm gonna get a jar of molasses.
You should get a jar of molasses.
I don't know if they have molasses in Massachusetts.
I was reading something. I think it was when I was like researching the like on Google, but it mentioned that like even though this is such a huge part of Boston history, and it's a huge part of like the American history just because of the war.
Yeah.
It is rarely mentioned in Boston.
Really?
Like they just don't talk about it.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
You would think that they would they would have some sort of like catchphrase or something.
Oh yeah, like they would build on it.
Like hold the molasses or
or
this is like this day is like a ship full of molasses.
Or molasses passing gases.
Yeah, molasses passing gases.
Passing gases.
It's really a factor.
So I do find it interesting that they didn't monopolize on that a little bit.
Yeah.
They definitely could have.
Yeah. I'm gonna go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go.
I'm gonna go.
And that's the story of the 1919 Boston molasses flood.
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
It is a very interesting case.
It's very sad.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a little longer. I knew it was going to take a little longer, but there were certain parts of it I felt like just for you to get the whole gist of everything.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave out certain
Yeah.
parts.
No, you did a good job.
But that book, it goes even further. Like it actually follows the lives of some of those that were injured or anything like that. So yeah, it's a great little story.
Yeah.
To do some research on.
Thanks for hanging with us while we told it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us today here at Faith Untamed,
where we have real faith with no filters.
And if you enjoyed hanging out with us, you can find us on Facebook along with the pictures from today's story at Faith Untamed.
And remember to follow us wherever you listen to your podcast.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.